Before we jump into this episode, I want to take a moment to tell you about the upcoming Texas Woodworking Festival, a 2-day celebration where makers and enthusiasts come together to share their passion for the craft. Join us for a weekend filled with creativity, community, and inspiration. You'll meet tool manufacturers, furniture makers, woodworking clubs, content creators, and more, all in one place with great food and drinks, and of course, all things woodworking. It all takes place in Austin, Texas on September 13th and 14th. The festival features an educational track on Saturday and Sunday, plus a special pre-conference content creator track on Friday, September 12th. There you'll have a chance to learn from masters of the craft like Gary Rogowski, Matt Kinney, Andy Rawls, and Kate Casey, just to name a few. Head to the TexasWoodworkingFestival.com for more details and to grab your tickets. Use the code MWA25 to get 10% off your tickets. I'll drop a link in the show notes. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, there's something for everyone at the Texas Woodworking Festival. Don't miss it. Welcome to the MWA podcast. I'm Kyle and I'm joined by my co-host Sean. Today we're excited to welcome back Gary Rogowski as our guest. Gary will be one of the presenters at the Texas Woodworking Festival as part of its educational track. Gary, as most of us know, is an award-winning furniture maker, author, educator, director of the Northwest Woodworking Studio, and host of the Splinters podcast. So welcome back to the show, Gary.
Thank you very much, Kyle. You know, I'll be at the Texas Woodworking Festival showing off my barbecue recipe.
Nice.
There might be a few locals that have some objections.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, I'm meeting things off Friday or Saturday morning. So what better time than Saturday morning for some barbecue?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I look forward to the reviews of the Northwest barbecue as opposed to Texas barbecue discussion.
Yes.
Up in the Midwest where I am, it's pretty much right out of Kroger's shelf, whatever barbecue sauce I can find, or maybe even Costco. Nothing fancy there.
In the Northwest, it's all just copies of places people have come from.
Sure.
Carolina,
little this, little that. Yeah. I was in North Carolina recently, I should say. And we went to this great barbecue place called the Smoke Pit. And they had a variety of different sauces, a mustard sauce.
Yep.
You know, and I tried them all just to try them. There was no heat among them, even though the one that said it was hot. And all of them were runnier, you know, and in Carolina, they're a little more vinegar based than anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was interesting.
A lot of pulled pork.
Yeah. I had brisket, and it wasn't quite Texas brisket. It was North Carolina brisket. But it was good.
Yeah.
Still good.
Yeah. Well, there's good barbecue everywhere. You know, there's great barbecue in Texas, but there's
there
good
you
barbecue
go.
everywhere else.
Oh, jeez.
That's the thing I'm most looking forward to. This sort of reserved nature of most Texans.
Exactly.
Shy, retiring.
Absolutely.
That's
Calm.
what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sutherland Wells proudly sponsors our podcast. Let's hear a little words from our sponsor.
For sure. Sutherland Wells knows that exceptional craftsmanship deserves an exceptional finish. That's why they handcraft their full line of low and VOC exempt finishes and stains using the highest quality cold pressed, sustainably grown tongue oil. Their unique polymerization process delivers the deep penetrating, grain enhancing, non-yellowing protection of raw tongue oil while reducing time and allowing the finish to build a beautiful, durable film. Sutherland Wells, the timeless look of traditional oil made for the modern woodworker, and you can use code MWA25 for 10% off your first order. So thank you, Sutherland Wells, for sponsoring our show, and everybody who's listening. If you haven't tried it out, save a little money when you do.
Exactly. And we'll see Mara and Rob at Texas Woodworking Festival.
Oh, there you go.
There, yeah. And they'll be part of one of my panels too.
Wonderful.
So it should be fine.
Yeah.
Could you explain something about the panels? How are they set up?
Oh.
We got the panels in the main marketplace area. There's there was availability for 3 panels. So we just kind of just spitballed on, what we want to do on panels. Austin did and myself, and we came out with one for finishing, one for tool makers, and then one for why we build or why we make. So I'll be moderating those 3 panels, but there's also going to be, that's just a small part of it. The other part, there's going to be demos, like people that have booths are going to be doing, tool demos and stuff like that up there. So,
okay.
Yeah. And my major role there in the past has been to, moderate the panels. But this year, I'm also going to be the MC. So I'm going to be doing all the raffle drawings and all of that. So, you slip me an extra $50. We see what we can do. No, I'm just joking.
And you wear the big white hat, and you got the baton. You can come out high stepping.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to this.
It's less a white hat. It's more the buffalo from the Flintstones. That
yeah.
Oh, nice. Good take. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's basically how we do when we set up the panels and stuff like that. So, why would you like to participate in a panel?
Absolutely.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can do something there for you.
I can find an opinion somewhere.
In your back pocket somewhere.
Oh boy, that's for sure. Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Let me look and make sure. The other thing is, since we're only having the 3 panels, we've got to make sure none of them conflict with when you're given your lecture. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
I start things off 9 a.m.
Yeah.
7 a.m. my time, Saturday mornings.
Oh boy.
I'm in practice right now. I'm up at 4:30.
Oh no.
Okay.
I hope you get. When do you get in? Do you get in Thursday or Friday?
I'm getting in Thursday.
Okay, you got a day to acclimate.
Yeah.
A day to a 2-hour change.
Well, yeah.
Give or take.
It's just I want to get in.
I hear you.
Get set up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably going to drive up Friday morning, so I should be there around noonish, I think, somewhere around there. And I'll probably pop over there. I think they're having some social media type stuff on that Friday, a little educational track on social media. Should look this up and see exactly what it's about. So yeah, Friday is the content creator track. Right. So yeah, they're having like 1, 2, 3, and that's like an extra add-on that you can purchase to do that on Friday, September 12th in the afternoon. But yeah, I'm probably going to pop in and check out some of that if I get a chance, because I think besides that, I'm not going to get a chance to see any of the other lectures or presentations that are going on during the show. Yeah, because I'll be busy, but I might get up there for some of them. But the good thing is they are recording these, so that's what I did last year. Is went back and checked them out via the videos, which were really well done. I mean, it might actually, it's well worth it if you go to one of those sessions and you really want to review that. Instead of taking notes, you can go back and see the videos, and they got some nice overhead shots of everything. So it's really nice.
Great.
Yeah. But with that, let's give our patrons a thanks. So we always want to give a big thanks to our patron supporters. And today we're giving that shout out to Garrett. And if you would like to support the MWA podcast, go to patreon.com/MWA podcast.
Thanks, Garrett.
Yes, thanks so much. So let's move on to what's in the shop. So Sean, you're still helping your neighbors out with chainsaw work?
Yeah, it actually just this week, yesterday, in fact. So it was a month and a half ago that we got over there and cut a bunch of crap down and started splitting stuff up. Went through 4 tanks of gas in my chainsaw, just hogging it away, a couple hours of work. And he texted me the other day. He goes, "Hey, it's been really hot or really wet for a good month, give or take. It's been a week here, a week there, and just like sweltering or yuck. And or I was on vacation or whatever." And he's like, "Hey, do you want to, maybe this weekend?" I'm like, "I'll do what I can throughout the week. I don't want to like park it on Saturday, but like if I got an evening, I'll come over for a little bit and do what I can." And so last night I went over, just me, myself. He ended up walking over just to kind of watch. He's not experienced with, chainsaw and all.
Yep.
And so he's like, I'll just be around and help. I'm like, okay. As I kick like logs away, you can move them, I guess. But yeah, I cut up probably about 20 foot of a cherry stump that had been laying prone on the ground for a while. It's an interesting, actually, as I got to the kind of the core of it, I didn't quite realize it was a tree when it was standing that had 3 very large branches kind of radially going out at the same time. And so where it sits as it is, I have a 20-inch bar and I can't get through the lower section. I've got to take it from both sides and kind of like plow, and work my way down. It takes a long time. But I walked that single stalk up because they must have cut the other branches off. But as I'm like going closer to this, I'm like waiting for it to teeter. I'm seeing the weight shift and all these other things. And I get down to it and I'm like, oh, this is a huge knuckle of like each leg of it is probably a 14 to 16 inch diameter. And there's 3 of them around at the same kind of what would be elevation of the tree. My gas ran out right there. And so I was like, I'm done for the night. That's fine. Good Monday. But that's weighing on me. Like, I don't know how I'm going to attack that. It's going to be interesting because like there is a very heavy, very wide section below that. And I just think that section, if I can separate the two, it's going to be this like clover of a thing that, I mean, as far as like firewood goes, it's going to need to be split more than I can attack it with a chainsaw. It's just, there's a whole lot of weight, a whole lot of mass all bunched into this one big area.
Is there anything savable?
Yes. I mean, he's given it all to me.
Oh.
He doesn't want any business with it.
Uh-huh.
And so like, if I could cut like 20-inch sections out, I guess they could be made into chair blanks if you cut it right, those kind of things. This is, although as I got closer and closer to that, I was seeing a lot of ants. So there's ant damage in sections. It just, I mean, there was a reason why they came down. There was large dead in these trees. This wasn't like a cosmetic thing. This was that doesn't look good kind of thing. And so they had a tree service in town or in the area. They just said like, oh, we can do this, this, and this. And then they skipped town before they cleaned up, which is why I'm working on it. Wow. So it's interesting, but that's an ongoing thing. It's a weird, like if you saw my neighbor's yard, he's got like cones where big members like pierced the ground and left a divot so no one breaks an ankle as they're walking through there, or his dog, because his dog's running all over the place. And then he's got these other things that are just like too big to roll even. They're just massive pieces there were 2 large oak sections, a pine, and a large cherry tree, which I was working on yesterday, that are all in various states of dismemberment on the ground. So the biggest of the big sections are still standing where they are, laying where they were. And so my oldest needs to get over there because he's this, the spryest of us, and seems really happy with a wedge and a sledgehammer to just go ham on a log. So we're going to get him over there hopefully in the next week or so to start splitting some of that bigger stuff up. But it's been a hell of an adventure. I mean, the Cremonas of the world that have those big 4-foot bars on their chainsaws like would make short work of some of this.
Yeah.
But even with a 20-inch and a good steel, chainsaw, it's taken time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun. I don't mind it. I don't mind. I was glad because like the weather tipped from like in the 90s to in the high 70s, and it was like, I'll take this. I can do that. When it was super duper hot, no way. No. Because when like the first day when we went at it, he had a whole crew of guys, his brothers, his uncle, all the, and we like there were 4 saws running. We were just doing all we could to clean up this yard. Thankfully it wasn't hot then, but I was in like long sleeves, gloves, jeans, like fully kind of protected. But it was in the 70s. You do that in the 90s, and I'm just sweating bullets. Like it would be straight awful.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't do that around here because
I wouldn't. No, hell no, I would not do that.
In the 90s,
I don't even know
both in
what
temperature and humidity.
And I've never cut like mesquite or whatever the hell grows around you. Like it would be a whole different game. I can take out like domestic hardwoods that we get up here.
Yeah. Now around here, it's palm trees and live oaks, pin oaks.
I don't know. How does live oak compare to red oak? Like
it's not good for woodworking. It's good for smoking, I think, and that's post oak and stuff like that. But it's all interlaced and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So if I could tell when I was going near like crop grain, you can feel that as you're going through it. It's definitely fighting a little bit. And I know from what I know, like different directions, things are kind of twisted. But But the straight cuts in that cherry that I even knew yesterday it went like butter. It's great.
Yeah.
And I also filed my saw before
Yeah.
I started to make sure it was fresh. But
yeah, I think live oak's incredibly strong. Like I said, the grain's all interlocked.
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. I think that's what's on the side of the USS Constitution's old iron sides. I think it's live oak.
Wow.
It's not
Yeah.
ironwood, old iron sides. Jeez. Mislabeled all these years.
Listeners could correct me on that, but yeah, I believe it's live oak that's there.
Sure.
So.
All right. So enough about my chainsaw adventures, Kyle. What are you working on?
I'm actually just working on jig parts. Had a rush of orders and my inventory went down, so I've been replenishing that, which is kind of interesting in the fact that I think some manufacturers have finally started actually producing some good quality parts, and particularly Hillman, their little hardware manufacturer.
Yeah.
But and one of my things I always, do iterations of my jigs just to make me happy. I've never had any complaints, but I'm always just trying to improve stuff. So one of the things is on my center finder, which fits on the end of my drill extensions. In the past for the center finder, I just had drilled a 1/2-inch hole in there, and that seemed to work. The 1/2-inch drill extension would fit in that hole. It was kind of hard to make in some respects because I would drill the 1/2-inch hole. Then after the wood acclimatized to that hole being drilled into it, then I'd have to kind of re-drill it just to make sure it did. And so I've always worried about, shrinking and stuff like that over the seasons, how that would affect the end of that drill extension going into the hole of the center finder. So a while back, I decided, well, let me see if I can do something and put like a little metal sleeve in there. So I looked, but it couldn't be too expensive. Like I looked at drill bushings, but they're way too expensive. I'd have to increase my price. Well, I found these little 1/2-inch spacers that had a 1/2-inch inside diameter and a 5/8 inch outside diameter, and Hillman. And the only place I could find them was at Lowe's. So I went to my local Lowe's, picked one up, worked fine, perfect. Okay, I'm going to do this now. So I go, okay, I want to order 10 of them. So I ordered 10 of them from Lowe's and just had them shipped to me. And like 7 out of the 10 wouldn't work. They had a little internal ridge in there when it was milled and the shaft wouldn't fit. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to announce that I'm going to change this, but I got 3 out of the 10 I ordered or something like that. And so I ordered some more again. And this time I go, hey, they're improving them. 5 out of the 10 work. Then the next time I placed the order, all 10 of them would. I'm like, crap. So anyway, I needed to place an order last week. So I placed an order, got them in the first of this week, and 10 out of 10 were perfect. And I noticed where they had the ridge on the inside, they'd gone in there and somehow smoothed that out. So I don't know. I don't know if it was me returning them or if they just caught it themselves, but who knows? I doubt one person.
You were the one that identified the QC problem.
Maybe. I don't know. But I just thought it was funny. So anyway.
That's wild.
It is pretty wild. I thought it was. But that's really all I've been doing this week is just making jig parts. In fact, I was just doing sanding all day today. And I'm going to be sore tomorrow. I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. I go, no, I think it's going to be Thursday because I'm actually going to be my shoulder's going to be a little tight tomorrow. Why do you have to hand sand everything? Anyway, it's the only way it works sometimes. Power sand as much as I can, but yeah, to do those final things, you got to hand sand. And then when you're sanding, a whole mess of parts, it gets old. But anyway, they're done, and hopefully I got enough to last me a few more months before I have to. Can't complain too much. And I want to thank all of our customers that have bought our product. So that's been great. So Gary, what have you been working on in your shop?
Let's see. Really, the last few weeks have been a reclamation project, trying to. So we had a big fire up. We had 11,000 acre fire that came 3 sides up where I live.
Oh man,
it changes a lot of things.
Yeah, no, I bet
It really does. I mean, not just a little. It changes.
So I mean, how close was it? Did you have to evacuate us?
200 yards.
Wow.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah, I was supposed to evacuate, and I did.
Good.
Oh, I didn't realize it came that close to you. Jeez.
And then I snuck back in.
Oh,
I couldn't stand it. I was 5 miles away at a friend's house watching the smoke. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell whether it was coming towards my place or it sort of looked like. And so the state roads were closed, but the county roads were open. So this big loop, did an hour and a half drive and came in the back way and saw the crews leaving as I was showing up at 8 o'clock. And they'd been watching the place and everything was fine. And then later that morning, we had grass fires, air support, ground crews, noise, smoke, airplanes.
All of
flying
it, yeah.
overhead, about 200 feet overhead. And then they were flying below us in the canyon and they were just bombing it. So
Wow.
it was very exciting, terrifying.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Huh?
I can imagine. I mean, I'm always get antsy this time of year for the hurricanes and stuff, but at least we can kind of see those coming. But yeah,
Right.
fire. Ugh,
Well,
yeah.
I walked at a place the day before that's completely destroyed.
Jeez. I just in early July after the 4th, but okay, so early mid-July, I went to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Spokane, Washington area. I noticed how dry that area is.
Oh, it's bad.
Just tall, dry, brown grass, kind of all lacing the highway.
It's everywhere.
Really wild.
Yeah, it's everywhere. So they don't know why the fire started, but it took off and came up this canyon that I live near. But they got it. It's just
So did you get any smoke damage or anything like that from it?
no, there was plenty of smoke in the air, but it wasn't too.
Okay.
And it got close to some houses, some of my neighbors' houses, but only within 20 or 30 yards. And, enough to really get your attention.
That's oh, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really get your attention. And I'm the fire marshal up here, so I've been, every year I talk about, okay, so we got to make sure we clean their gutters. And of course, my place is the worst. So I'm up there cleaning gutters, and doing stuff when I snuck back in. But it was a very interesting experience. The Department of Natural Resources, DNR crews, were amazing.
Mhm.
They were volunteers, or not, they're getting well paid, but they came down from the Puget Sound area, so Seattle, Tacoma area. And they were great. Amazing to watch, amazing coordination. God knows how it was for them, but on the outside looking in, it was really impressive. And the airstrike, crazy. I mean, they're flying these single-seater planes, single prop, that have these giant buckets, giant pontoons. They dive into the water and get their water and
Right.
fly back. And the river's 2 miles away, so 3 miles away. It's like every 5 minutes they were coming back and bombing. And
So it's like crop dusting for
yeah,
Yeah.
insane. So I was going to town, decided to drive by the airport, and there were the planes. So I stopped and I looked and I see these guys walking around in shorts and flip flops, and I go, "Those are the pilots."
Yes.
So I talked to one of them, and young guy from Alaska. He just does this work in the summer, takes the winters off. And I said, "You guys are crazy."
That's a
kind of
dangerous
agreed with me.
job. I mean,
Yeah.
But they were flying below tree line. So I next day I stopped at Costco and got 2 rotisserie chickens and a case of beer for it.
Nice.
Good for you.
Thank you.
They deserve it. I mean, that is
God.
wild. And like, it's great to have that. You're honestly fortunate to have any substantial body of water nearby.
Oh yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
And
we were
but, like,
lucky there were no new fires breaking out because they would have gone.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, wow. I mean, we are in complete awe around here when we see that stuff happen out west, because I mean, it's mostly out there or in Canada, but like seeing the responses when it was in LA, when it's in your area, like it's awe-inspiring, truly, because I mean, those guys just put their absolute lives on the line. I mean,
Absolutely.
nothing taken away from any other first responders, but that stuff is tough.
It's hard work, no question.
Yeah.
It's really hard work. So the day after that, I was walking the hillside just to see if there was any fires burning. What's interesting, you were talking about cutting that cherry tree down.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing but Quercus garryana, Gary oaks, in this part of the world. Gary oaks and pines, ponderosa pines. And the Gary oaks, the small ones that are maybe 12 inches in diameter, are probably 100 years.
Yeah.
There's so little moisture. They don't grow very. But there was one smoking. There's a little bit of burning. So it was about an 18-inch diameter trunk, and 7/8 of it were burned away.
Oh,
And I
geez.
had my shovel and I pushed on it to see if it would fall over. No, it was just fine.
Still standing.
And 10 feet up, it was smoking. That's where the smoke was leaving.
Wow.
It was insane. So they're hollow,
Yeah.
still alive, right? Because the
Yeah,
cambium
just
layer is
still.
on, but there's hollow in the middle and just smoking out the top.
That's
was wild.
crazy.
It was wild. And there were a couple of those. So and this DNR crew, there were like 20 guys some with chainsaws. I talked to one of the guys and I had some chaps. I said, "You need an extra pair of chaps?" Because I never. And he goes, "No, I got these chaps, but you can't ever cut them. You cut them, they take you off the chain."
Oh,
interesting.
interesting.
So they're really careful. And the guy with the chainsaws got a different job than the other guys, the shovel or Maddox. Yeah, it was very interesting. And they were going down hillsides. I had to cut toe holds in to climb back up. I mean, they were going down into this canyon. It's very steep. Yeah, very impressive. It's an amazing experience. So it's taken some time to recover, get my focus.
Understandably so.
Yes,
So,
you building a moat around your place now?
oh man, I went out and bought a water cube. It's a 275-gallon cube. It's got a metal cager on it. If I had a forklift, I put a forklift on it and move it around. I'm going to buy a bunch of those just to have them.
Yeah.
With the water pump, got to buy a water pump. It was all this stuff I got to do, and I learned about it. One of my neighbors had a water. Yeah, it's a little over the top, but no, he wasn't.
No.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not a bit.
Dang.
It's and then the Forest Service guy, the remediation crew boss, he said, "You want it?" Because they did a lot of scratch line on the property. He said, "You want us to fix these?" And I said, "We're not out of fire season yet. Let's just leave them in place." So these are lines that are 18 to 24 inches wide, just cut into the dirt to stop the grass fire.
Yeah.
And they won't jump across that. And he said, "Yeah, I agree. But your neighbors are fine because they had all their grass burned. You're not." I was like, "Great, thanks." So yeah, it's a real deal, and you really got to think about stuff. So when I bugged out, I loaded up. I had RAV4 in a pickup truck. Probably a good thing because I would have taken way too much stuff. But I had to go through. The first thing I did, I'd been thinking, I should come up with a list. Oh, there's no time for a list. I went to the shop. I grabbed those chisels behind me. My Lee Nielsen's. I grabbed about 5 or 6 hand planes. I just loaded up tools, and then I started to think about it.
Yeah.
It's really just horrible thinking, all right, I'll never see you again. Bye. Or you just don't know. So it's the guy who had the fire pump, his dad lost his house a month before our fire. So
Oh man.
it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a terrifying.
I
So,
can imagine. Well,
You
I
made
know.
it.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Well, I know one of the sessions at the Texas Woodworking Festival you're giving is on the top 5 hand planes. So I assume those were the 5 hand planes you loaded up.
Let me think. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. One of my favorites. Yeah. So I grabbed hi, my name is Gary. I have a problem. Collect tools.
Yeah.
I grabbed 2 102 Lee Nielsen's low angle block plates. I have 2. I have
Yeah.
more than that, but I only grabbed 2. And one of the number 4s, and then a Stanley number 5, and then my high angle block plate. I love those.
Right.
Those things are great. I've got my new model out. I don't have the blade in it. My boat model.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Should be in mahogany, right? Really should be in mahogany. Anyway, I grabbed a bunch of that. Yeah, and then I forgot the stool I'm sitting on. I said, "Oh!" When it came back, I grabbed some more stuff. So yeah, it's really hard to know. Oh, do I need clothes? I guess I do.
Probably.
I guess I need clothes. So it's
Well, you can roll the planes up in the clothes to protect.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Function and form.
what did I roll them up in? I don't know. Anyway, it was a thing. So yeah, top 5 hand planes. We've got an hour. It'll be very interesting.
Well, good. Yeah. Yeah. Now, this is your first time at the Texas Woodworking Festival.
Yes.
Yes. So we're excited to have you. Yes.
Thank you.
I don't know. I'm not an official part of it, but I guess I'm semi-official. I've been to every one of them.
You got the white buffalo hat. You got the baton.
Exactly.
And you're not a part of the festival.
But no, it's going to be. So you're doing that, and what's the other lecture or presentation you're doing?
The other one which is on the second day, that's Sunday,
Mhm.
right? Saturday and
Correct.
Sunday, is called Setting Up Shop.
Oh, okay.
So I've been teaching an online class the last couple of years called Setting Up Shop, which is a 12-week event, but I'm going to do it in 45 minutes. So just hitting the high spots.
Yeah, exactly.
Touching everything, running across the. So, but it'll introduce some interesting concepts. I think that, in fact, I've got a new shop. It was made last August. It was finished last August, but the electrician is incredibly slow. Another story. But I was in there and I said, oh yeah, floor space is really important, but wall space is just as for me.
Yeah.
It's just as important. And so I'm a big believer in setting your monuments. My bench is the first monument. I don't move it. I don't want to move it. This is where it's going to stay. I have a view of the door. I can look out a window. That's all I need. Then my tools are right behind me. And that kind of thinking is real. And then I was walking around the house, and I have a situation so I can walk around a wall. I can go one way or I can go. And I didn't go more than halfway. Got what I needed, grabbed a shirt, and I could turn around and go back the way I came, or I could just keep going. What would you do in that situation? Would you stop, pivot, and go back the way you came, which is shorter, or would you keep going the longer way?
When safety is a concern, probably just keep going.
I'm inside my house. It's not safety. It's just, I think that if I'm headed one way, I'm just going to keep, it's easier.
It's easier to keep going.
It's easier to keep going. Yeah.
That's the way I drive. If there's traffic, I'm going to turn away from it because at least I'm still rolling forward.
As long as I'm moving in the car, that's all I care about.
I don't want to sit still.
Stop. Not happy. Well, you'll get there sooner. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't care. As long as I'm moving. As long as those wheels are rolling.
Yeah. So I think it's that same way in the shop, is to think about this concept of flow is really important. So how do
you want to move?
Are there a lot of boulders in your shop that you have to walk around? And I put them in my way. I mean, all the time. Clamp ends sticking out, and and you walk around it the first time, and after I've walked around it 6th or 7th time, I go, maybe I should pick that up and get it out of my way. I don't
Eventually.
know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, because in my shop, I am out of wall space.
Right, and it's so valuable.
Exactly. Yeah, it is.
Oh, do you know Gary Rogowski?
Yes.
Yeah. Before he moved into a new shop, I visited his original, which is in his house, kind of a ranch style house.
Yeah.
In his garage, and it was a maze. So walk down this aisle, single file, and then go, and then back and over and back. And a W or an M, but all block letters.
Right.
And two of you couldn't, unless you wanted to be really friendly, couldn't get by each other. And that's how he arranged it. There was a really strict flow in that. And he knew where everything was. I would have been lost in a second, but he knew where everything was stacked. It was amazing organization. So that flow idea is important. How, whatever you're building, how it moves through your space.
Crucially important. I mean, that's organizational at the basic level. Where, I mean, your kitchen. How do you set up your kitchen? Does it make sense for what you're preparing? Where your dishes are, where your utensils are? Like, all of it becomes a flow.
Yeah.
And it has to make sense. If it's disjointed, it's going to get in the way. There's no way around it.
Yeah. I have 2 legs of my triangle but the third leg is not really in the right spot.
Right.
I'll leave the spatula over there. Oh God, the egg.
Yeah. I will say I'm fortunate with a small kitchen, so it's really a straight line. The oven's on the left, the sink's in the middle, and the utensils are on the right. But like the biggest prep area is right above where the utensils are. The knives are on the left side of the sink. It's not terrible because the cutting boards are underneath the utensils. And so you kind of dance, but there's no turning around. There's no ranging around the room, and it's basically a straight line left to right. So it's not that it works, but yeah, I mean the same thing applies. I mean, anytime you can just filter out the noise in a way where you can just kind of flow, whatever that flow is. It might not be a straight line.
Oh, it doesn't have to be a straight line.
It doesn't have to be a straight line, but as long as it continues and uninterrupted to the goal, that's the focus, right?
There can't be any boulders in the way. It's got to be nice and easy. So that's a concept I think a lot of people don't consider, and I'm going to talk about in the setting up shop class. And then my top 5. I was taking notes today. My top 5 hand planes, top 5 tools. I have to leave. What are my top 5 What are my top 5 hand tools? Okay, here they are.
Yeah.
My 102 Lee Nielsen low angle block plane. What's on my list? I change so often. Oh, my Dazuki saw.
Okay. Yeah.
Japanese dovetail saw, not the Lee Nielsen, because the Dazuki can do
A lot of
more
stuff.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
more
sure.
things. My 1/2 inch chisel, my spoke shave, and my 16-inch Yates American bandsaw. I consider that a hand.
Exactly. Well, at least you got rid of that big one, didn't you?
No.
No, you still got the
All right,
Yates.
so I need one of your listeners to contact me because I have a VFD problem.
Oh, okay.
Very variable frequency drop.
Yeah.
So I got a cheapie from on Amazon, and the electrician came, and he's really good. That guy is good. The rest of the crew is a little dingling, but he's really good. And he hooked it all up. It's hardwired. So we hardwired. I have a 3-phase joiner, and we hardwire that in.
Yeah.
And it's powered off 220 line. It has plenty of amperage. The VFD has plenty of amperage, 30 amp capacity, and up to 400 hertz, it says. But when we turned it on, it would only go to 50. So I have a joiner that's going, oh, instead of going, oh, it's going, it works, but I don't know how to get it up to 60. It's a Vivor VFD. I put a note into the seller. Hopefully, relatively simple. But yeah, I hope to get the big bandsaw up here, but I wanted to make sure I had.
Yeah, that makes sense. So is it 3-phase too? Yeah.
Big 5 horsepower motor, but only 15 amps. So this VFD should be able to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
It might do all right, even at 50 hertz.
Yeah.
I think it'd be better to get it to where it's.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I turn the thing on, it would take, I've timed it, 14 seconds to get up. So it takes a little bit of effort to get those big cast iron going.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Really takes a little bit.
And also to come to a stop.
Oh, forget it. Just walk away.
Just walk away.
Just walk away.
Shut it up and
the
clear out.
bandsaw's on. Just be aware.
Exactly.
All right, I'll tell you a story. So the city was on my butt for years. I said, I'm a school. Oh, you can't be a school. Wrong zone. I said, well, it's not, I don't have school kids. I teach adults at night, blah, blah, blah. Nope, you're manufacturing. I said, I'm not manufacturing. We went back and forth and back. I said, okay, whatever you say, I'm manufacturing. Oh, since you're manufacturing, you got to do this, and this. All this whole list. And one of the things was changing this stairway up to this mezzanine there. So built a new stairway, all up to code. Beautiful thing. Very proud of it. Guy comes in, gets as far as the big bandsaw. Whoa. And I go, yeah, let me turn this on. I push the button. We wait 14 seconds and it comes up to speed. This is great. All right, you're good. See you later. He never even looked at the staircase. Never even looked.
Shiny object.
Well, that's a cool bandsaw. I go,
wow, look at that.
Cool bandsaw. I wasn't trying to hide anything, but now I know all you need is a bandsaw and, a big Yates American Snowflake, and you can get away with a lot.
With it. Yeah. No kidding. That's hilarious. That is.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But you do need a 2-ton forklift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So,
you can't exactly grab that when the fire's raging.
No, and you can't really grab my little 16-inch, but I could take the table and the really great fence. So it's got a rack and pin.
Oh, nice.
And I debated taking it.
Yeah, hard to transport in an emergency.
Yeah.
Well, all these things.
Sure.
Michael Cullen moved to California. There were other factors. Fires were one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you know Michael, and moved to Connecticut.
Yeah, less natural obstructions going on there.
Yeah, well, hurricanes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like coastal hurricanes, it's flooding. But if you're in the highland and inland, it's not much of a thing. I mean, I hope there's nothing serious with this last one coming through, but it's my wife hates winter, but she's lived in Northwest Ohio all her life, where we get winter. We don't get the harshest of winters, but we get winter. But the alternative to go to some place where there's hurricanes or earthquakes, I prefer winter.
There's something everywhere, anywhere.
There is.
I mean, y'all will get flooding and stuff like that. So
flooding, weirdly, is not as big here.
Mm-hmm.
The worst, I will say, other than we get tornadoes rarely, like multiple decades rarely. Like one came through within the last 20 years, 15 years or so. And before that, it was another 10 to 15 years. I mean, it's rare. But they're like F2. They're not these giants that are in Kansas.
Yeah, that's the only thing we get down here is small.
They're smaller.
F1s,
They do
F2.
damage. They took out a police station in the high school. Like, I mean, it was big, but and there were definitely fatalities, but it's not nearly what you see, in the bigger stories. But with our position where we are by Lake Erie, like largely everything is controlled. And so you don't get a ton weirdly of flooding. Even like I've seen the river in the winter worse because of freezing than because of waterfall.
Yeah. Okay.
The river actually, because of whatever fluctuation, it rose up, it damaged roads like right next to the river, which like the Maumee River, which is what the big river around here is. I climbed on top of a thing that was like 10 feet tall of frozen river.
Oh, wow.
That had shifted over the road. Like it just grew and grew and grew. But that's like the worst of it. It damaged some roads, yes, but it otherwise subsided, and it didn't damage any homes because no one here lives that close to that water. Like it's just a different scenario. But it's wild because I said before, like Mother Nature is undefeated. So your vicinity, your area, respect her and protect yourself as best you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Well, so I was going to ask you, Gary. So, does anything pique your interest that's also going on at the Texas Woodworking Festival as far as
the stereotomy courses?
Oh yeah,
isn't that cool?
That's cool stuff. Yeah,
I want to know about stereotomy.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. We had him on, I guess about this time last year. He was going to be at the Texas Woodworking Festival last year, but couldn't quite. I think there were some visa problems because he was Canadian. Was Canadian. He is Canadian, but anyway. But I think Patrick got all that lined out. So yeah, he's going to be there this year. But yeah, cool. I'm really interested to actually meet him in person. But he's a real cool guy.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, he studied in France for years to learn this and all this stuff, and got hazed and whatever they do.
Yeah, well, it's okay over there.
Charpentier, I forget how they're referred to. It's a big deal.
Yeah,
it really is. It really is. And like, I love the fact that like since we interviewed him, I've been following him, and he shows like students that are going through the programs and the work they do, phenomenal. There was one I just saw, I think it was today. It was a spiraled like cone that was meant to be, but it was like quarter scale, so it was relatively small. But just how you envision, cut, form, sand to fit, all these members, like it's fascinating.
So a former student, a friend of mine, lives in France now, a while ago, but we toured his region in the Loire Valley looking for spiral steeples.
Yeah. Oh,
and they're not, highly curly-cued, but they've got this kind of slow, and you go, did the building move? Or did they, what happened here? And it's wild. It's really, really interesting. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's really, because like if you follow him on Instagram, I don't know if you do, Gary.
I don't.
That spiraled spire that he showed of a student that went through a program, he's got views of not just the plans, but the top, the side, and the formation of it. And it's just so like kind of complex in a way that you're just wrapped around it, where you go, okay, that member is technically just a cone, but it's carved and formed to be turned in its space. But then the peak of it was formed to fit all of that in the same space. And it's just, I mean, I'm just ultimately entertained by it. From my engineering background, from like that kind of detail, like it is so cool to see it like come to life.
Yeah, it's really fun. I have students who, when I use the word math, run away and cover up their ears. I think it's really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't use calculus.
Yeah, exactly.
Geometry and trigonometry.
Yeah.
They're such useful tools.
Yeah.
To help you do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My oldest went into the trades in mechanical insulation. One of
Uh-huh.
the first tools he bought was dividers.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And so
That's wild.
he's learning how to turn flat metal into cones, cut cones, to
Interesting.
take transitions in 3D space. Like
Interesting.
that's math. And
That's-
I jabbed him. I mean, like, you thought you never used math in high school. Like, and here you are.
Yeah. it's
He's like,
pretty
well, yeah, because the radius times this does this and this,
Right.
this minor and major radius. I'm like, yep, that's awesome.
It's really fun.
It is fun.
So I have this stool project that I've been doing for years. The compound angle joiner, chair
Mm.
makers deal with this.
Yeah.
It's just,
I have a jig for that.
well, see, I don't use round tenons.
Darn it.
Oh,
Man. I'm kind of stuck in my ways. And so I'm going to do a class with my graduates of the mastery program, and we're going to do a production piece. I'm going to show them how to build this. Teaching is not as easy as people think sometimes, because you have to talk in ways that people understand. And so that's how I put myself to sleep, is trying to figure out ways of discussing this geometry.
I understand that. Yeah.
It's fascinating. Good fun.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a rake and splay and all that kind of stuff. So how's the online mastery program going?
It's going fine. We're sort of on hiatus, not sort of. We are on hiatus until October.
Okay.
So I've got a second year group gathering their energies, I hope, thinking about chair design, I hope. So I did one fun thing. I took a trip to Iceland for a while, and then to Copenhagen.
wow.
And went to the Design Museum in Copenhagen.
Okay.
Design Museum is, you can't call it a chair museum. There's a lot of chairs in it. There's other things in there as well. I was lucky enough to get a personalized tour. I want all your listeners to know that when you contact a museum or a school or something, I've done this in the past. You just say, "Hi, I'm Gary, and I'd like to come and visit your museum." And if there's someone I could speak with, that would be great. And the response is usually cricket.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Zip. Zero. This time I wrote, "This is Dr. Gary Rogowski. I will be visiting." And I hope those folk in Copenhagen don't listen to MWA, but I used the word doctor, and I got a personalized tour with another doctor who was absolutely, and got this, one-on-one tour through the whole place. It was amazing. Anyway, Hans Wegner chairs, Carl Klint chairs. These are big names in Danish modern furniture.
Yeah. I got Wagner's book right over here. So
in Danish, it's Hans Wegner.
Wegner.
They have just the weirdest pronunciation.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's just so. But that was a lot of fun. And so my students are building chairs. There's so much to. I've done chair design, but there's so many things. One thing. It's a triangle, this triangle of chair design. There's engineering and comfort and beauty. If you do too much engineering, you don't do enough engineering, it's going to fall apart, or it's not going to be comfortable. It's just one thing affects. So it's really fascinating to be doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. I recently ran across a chair that was just absolutely beautiful. Always thought it was beautiful. And so I got to sit in it. I went, oh, this is very comfortable. Damn thing's too big. It's too long. It's
oh, no kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. The back supports sucks.
Yeah.
Looks great though.
Yeah. Well, I tell my students that if you go to a fancy restaurant, they need to flip the table. So you're going to sit in a straight back chair. It's going to be a 90-degree angle chair.
Right.
Because they don't want you to sit there. They don't want you to be comfortable. They want you to, look upright. Look pretty and whenever you dress up, get the hell out of there. We got to serve another meal tonight. So it's really, and those kinds of chairs are gorgeous. Yeah. So there was this Japanese restaurant in Portland. It was only the second location. The other was in Tokyo. It was a block away from my. They had white oak furniture, blonde white oak furniture everywhere, and stainless steel. Gorgeous spot. They had picnic tables out. I went in there one day and I told the wait person, I really got to get rid of those picnic tables. And she said, well, there's the manager right there. So I introduced myself. Your place is gorgeous. beautiful tables. It's basically a warehouse. It was a restaurant. This special hibachi imported from Japan for roasting chicken. And, this is an amazing place. What are you doing with picnic tables? You can't take me in. You just can't. Because picnic tables are they're great in the forest.
You're right.
It can't be stolen. No one wants to steal a picnic table. Okay. Beyond that, not much good, is my opinion. So, I told Tai Chi about that. Anyway, they had these chairs, and their chair design was sort of a trapezoidal seat, but they did all right angle joints. So it's a front rail, a rear rail, and two front to rear rails that came in at 90-degree angles. And they were done with the domino. There's no question they were done with the domino. Yeah. It was the size, but they went through that rail. There was no middle finger in the way. They went through that rail like that. So they had no gluing surface. The gluing surface was just at the top and bottom of this joint, and the long surfaces were all end grain. And they lasted about a year, and they fell apart. And I really wanted to fix them. I wanted to start so bad. So it's fascinating. It looked great, but it didn't survive. And they had a lot of butts in those. They had a lot of people sliding those things, and they failed. So there's lots of. Was that a famous chair you sat in? Was that a famous chair you sat in?
No. It's just one I knew that a buddy of mine built, and he was like, hey, let's build this, and he built it, and it looks exactly to the T, to the plans. And he goes, sit in, let me know what you think. And I sat in, and I go, this is not very comfortable. He goes, yeah, I know. It's not, is it?
I am aware.
Good for him. Yeah, so they always said, do I tell him? Why not tell him?
No. This guy has built all kinds of different chairs. So yeah, he knew it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he goes, you've seen this chair, haven't you? Yeah. It's like, sit in.
Well, I once had a Nakashima chair. I think it was a Nakashima chair. Come into the studio.
Yeah.
And this lady had called up. She said, my boyfriend's got this chair, and I think it's a Nakashima. It's conoid. I think it's a conoid. So So it's a cantilevered seat.
Yeah, it's cantilevered. Yeah.
Spindles. He talks about it and a crest rail, which I think is the most important part of the whole piece because it holds those spindles in place. Anyway, one of the spindles has fallen out, and I'm thinking, oh, is that possible?
Cool.
And how am I going to get one in? So I actually figured out a way I could replace the spindle.
Do like a little scarf type joint on? Yeah.
Do a scarf joint.
Yeah.
And I've done that before. With hide glue, you've got a little bit of time. And string will do a really pretty good job. And then I'd come back and.
Yeah.
But I figured I could do it that way. And, you're sticking one end into the crest rail and rotating it and the other end to the seat. Didn't work. Toss those out, start again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Until you get it right. Well, she brings the chair in, and the seat's covered with newspaper and packing tape and all. And I undo all this stuff. And as soon as I get the last piece of packing tape off, the seat separates. The glue joint is just no good, and the seat just separated. Well, that's how the spindle fell out, because the spindle was loose and it just dropped right out. Now, it didn't say Nakashima on it, and yet I think it might have been. The detailing was everywhere. It was quite lovely. It may not have been enough. Sure looked like. And we Googled distressed Nakashima chairs. Turns out you can buy them. I just think he had a bad batch of glue or something happened. The glue joint failed, but that was very interesting. I offered to buy it from her, but it was a lovely chair.
You didn't sit in it.
Well, it had I should have clamped the seat, I guess. Didn't cause any more damage. It was but yeah, there's a lot to think about.
Yeah. You had an interesting podcast on your Splinters podcast. You had an interesting little episode on chair design with some of your students.
So my third year group, we're going to do my stool project as a production project so they can see, how you make jigs, how you use them. I'm urging them to make at least 2, but 4 was my minimum, my stool. And I could get the numbers down for stool. But then we'll do a dining chair as well and build a prototype. It's really a fun project. Try to design your own chair. I mean, there's nothing new under the sun. So you're going to pick one route or the other. It's going to be a Windsor style, like the Maloof chair is a Windsor.
Right.
Like that, or it's going to be.
Yeah, I tend to gravitate towards more Windsor styles, but The other ones are nice too. I still haven't made a post and rung chair, which I need to do. So
Yeah, they're different. They're
Yep.
really different. But again, it's round tenons. Your problems. So many problems disappear. Oh, well, just hold the drill and then do this.
exactly.
Or wait a second, I've got a jig that can help you.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's different than doing square tenon kind of cabinet.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, at that point, you need one of those, fancy jigs.
Well, you don't.
I'm just joking.
But there's some handwork that needs to get done. So I would do with my stool design, everything's at an 82-degree angle.
Okay.
82. And so the first two rails, the front, just have shoulders at a simple 82-degree angle.
Degree.
But then the second set, I have to compensate for that. And so they're off by a 1 degree, 10 minute in the second set. They're still at 82 in one direction, but the shoulders are not 90. The shoulders are, because I angle the mortise. I don't angle the tenon, I angle them.
And then how do you have them going into the seat? Just a
Oh, those are loose tenons.
loose tenants? Okay.
So it's, yeah, I didn't want that Windsor look underneath. Who looks underneath? I do. But I didn't want to do it. So
Yeah.
I use loose tenons. But we would do that as a class. And if you've done a Windsor chair, how exciting gluing up that seat. You go, wait a second. These don't fit. What am I supposed to? Oh, I got to stretch the legs? No way. That's never going to work.
Yeah.
It boggles the mind, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. That's when we use high glue. We have wedges because if it doesn't fit quite right, wedge
Right.
is gonna
Oh,
solve that problem.
yeah. I did a chair with Curtis Buchanan. I tweaked the design. I made him.
Mhm.
No, you can't use that seat with that back. It's a Windsor. There's rules. And then the rest of the week he'd say, "It's a Windsor. Don't worry about it." Okay. So we got to gluing it. It was a continuous arm.
Okay. Yeah.
We got to gluing that on. 2 of the spindles were left long to help us get started because I think they
Right.
were 13 or 14 spindles. And it took a lot of us. It took work for the 2 of us to get it
Mhm.
finally on. And we got it on. And we're sitting back. And if we both smoked, we would have been having to smoke at that time.
Yeah.
Congratulating ourselves. And it's like 15 minutes later, Curtis goes, "Oh, we got those 2 spindles sticking through. Cut those off. We got to wedge those." I'm like, it's 15 minutes to glue. It's set. How are we going to wedge these? So I took my saw, cut the inch that was sticking out, cut that off. He said, take your chisel, take your 3/8 chisel. It was a 3/8
Yep.
tenon. Take your 3/8 chisel and whack it.
Like it.
And I said, "Curtis, I don't do this in my world." That didn't work.
It'll work.
And I got a little hole started, wedge cut. I took away, drove it in, and it worked.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, it's really fun. And back then, this was before 9/11. I took the chair back on the plane because I'd gone out to Curtis's, and I'd wrapped everything that was could be construed as something that could puncture something,
Mhm.
and wrapped the ends with cardboard, and then carried it up to the baggage counter. I said, "Here's my baggage." It looked like a chair, wrapping parts of cardboard. And I went, "Well, okay."
Okay.
And they treated it great. They treated it just because it wasn't a piece of baggage they could just throw. It was the first thing off the carousel.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. It's great.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if you would have used my jig, y'all wouldn't have to fight it. So anyway.
Oh boy.
No, that's one of the things.
I've never seen your jig in person. I'm looking
Okay.
forward to
Oh, there
it.
you go.
No, my spindle drilling guide. I remember one time Pete Galbert uses them in his classes, and I helped him develop his version, and then helping him with his version. I came out with my own version,
Uh-huh.
and I said, "Hey, you mind if I sell this?" No, not a problem. But anyway, one of his friends, Joel Paul, who unfortunately had an accident a few years ago, but he's doing much better now. But he bought my jig, and he was doing a continuous armchair and was assembling it in Pete's shop. And he used my jig, and then he put the spindles in, and he took the continuous arm and went bloop. They all fit in, and then the next day, Pete's in an order for 3 of my jigs.
No, that's nice.
Yes, that's nice. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. I think he has like 4 or 5 now. But anyway, it's always nice, and Pete's been gracious about doing that, and I've gotten all kinds of orders from his classes, so that's always cool. But I think he says, here's the way you traditionally do it, and here's your cheat code.
Well, traditionally, you get better.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bit and brace and lining
Yeah.
it up. You get better after 20 or 30.
Well, that's what Pete says. He goes, drilling the spindles in the bows. He goes, that's usually the last day, and he goes, people are worn out, and and you're giving them. This is now the hardest task they have to do in the entire chair. Is to use the force to drill these things.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, it is a challenge, but it's fun.
Yeah, pretty cool. So anyway, well, so what else are you working on professionally or personally? I know you got a new setting up shop series going to kick off in a couple of months.
That's
right?
going to start in January.
Okay.
Get the online program going. Yeah, I'm working on a book project.
Oh, nice.
We'll see. And it's cleaning out this little shop. I've got a bunch of little projects started. I'm probably the only guy who starts projects and sets them. Most everyone else finishes them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Exactly.
It's terrible. So I started this one little, I did a steam bend thing for my students. I thought, well, I can make this thing with all these steam bend parts. So I've got to do that. What is it? It's basically a waste, but it looks like a drop of water.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what I did with the parts. I can't find it. Oh, here we are. No. Oh, I know where they are. So I did a steam bend demo for the students. And then, so imagine, what do I have here? 8 of these.
Oh,
Thanks.
okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
All the way around. Okay.
Yeah, and then I think I'm going to weave.
So is it
something.
going to be coopered, or is it just going to be?
No. I'm going to individually mortise them. I've got a
Oh, okay.
plate. I'm going to mortise them into the
I
plate.
gotcha. Yeah.
Wedge from the bottom side, and then weave something. Weaving's really incredibly strong.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got some Danish cord, I think.
Yeah. That is one thing that's at the I'm interested in Texas Woodworking Festival on.
Right.
We got a guy doing a couple of weaving classes, David Johnson.
Right. Yeah,
He's
I wanna
doing a
see those.
rush and a Danish cord.
Right, I want to see those as well. Rush is
Yeah.
pretty interesting. I remember getting a book out in the library. I mean, you run out, well, you open it up, you glue in the next piece, and
Yeah.
pretty nice.
As long as you didn't screw up on that first piece.
Yeah. Yeah, and so many of the Danish chairs have those rush or wovens, and that's what makes them so light that I try and do it. You Windsor guys, wait, the heavier the better.
That's right. Especially the rocking chairs, you got to keep those
Oh.
grounded,
Yeah, you don't want to take off. You only weigh 250 pounds.
Jeez. The
But,
backbreaker trying to move them.
So Ashley, my former student, making stuff, Ashley Piper, found these Italian chairs that are in a tradition called Chiavari.
Oh yeah, I know this. I forgot I follow the company that makes them over in Italy. Yeah. And then they're balancing them on one finger, those kind of things.
Unbelievable. how
Those
light
are-
these-
Yeah. There used to be a place in Houston that carried them.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, but then that was right before I found out about, like right before the pandemic, and then after the pandemic, they got them and they closed up shop. So I was like,
Oh,
damn,
okay.
I never got to see one, because I would love to see one in person and sit in
Yeah,
it.
no kidding.
Yeah,
No kidding. I want to see. So
yeah.
for you viewers, the chair leg is really thin, but maybe an inch diameter, and it goes down to almost nothing. But it goes into a slot in the chair, into the crest root. I really want to see that, because I don't know if it's a sliding dovetail, because they hammer that press rail down onto the final step construction of the piece. They've got a video on website.
Yeah.
Forget the name of the company.
It's FL something. I don't know.
Fratelli.
I can't pronounce.
Fratelli.
Something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But it's.
I really want to see that.
Yeah.
crest.
Yeah, that's one of the things, and it's basically, it's kind of a post and rung type chair. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
to take into the nth degree, basically.
Oh, they've just every ounce that they could take off of it, they have. And it's basically a sit around cafe chair, hey, I need a chair over here.
Mhm.
Pick it up with one hand and move it around. And that idea, started, but Thonet was doing that back in the 19th century. He was mass producing flat packing chairs back in the 1870s, all steam bent and screwed together.
Yep.
Wow.
And they were everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those forgot what the actual name, but yeah, those hoop back things are like 3 or 4 hoops basically to make up the entire chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the peacock chair I saw was all screw based. Like everything was bent and screwed into place, and it was incredibly like a bird cage almost.
Huh.
And it was incredibly light and flexed when you sat in it.
Mm.
But it was originally built in the 1800s.
Wow.
And it was just perfect, like exactly what it needs to be. It forms to your body when you sit in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Chris Schwartz has some posts, at least on his Substack, about those chairs and going through them and how they were, put together and all that. And apparently the guy was a genius, but he was a bit of a ass too. Apparently he built all these factories and paid his employees, dirt wages. I mean, typical, 19th century type stuff. Sure. Paid them in script, which they had to use in the company store. We've all heard this kind of stuff. So yeah, that whole setup. But he built all these factories, I think, throughout Europe because he needed the beech wood. So he built a factory where there was a big beech forest, and when that ran out, he'd build another factory near another beech forest.
And who is this guy?
Oh, what is his name? Let me look him up here. I know Chris.
And is this the guy who made the peacock chair, Sean?
No, I forget who made that one. That was
because Wegner has a peacock.
Yeah, he does.
Be a different one.
That wasn't.
I didn't see any screws in that.
It wasn't the peacock. It was something like that.
The penguin.
No, not penguin. No. Because I saw one in the Henry Ford Museum, like an actual one.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, there's a lot of cool stuff being done in the 19th century.
There really was. It was really cool.
A lot of inventive people.
Yeah, American Peasant. Show me the postings. Okay. Yeah, there it is. It is. I want to say it starts with a C or something like that. Oh no, Thonet. Michael Thonet. Thonet.
Oh, that's Thonet. Yeah.
Thonet. Never mind. Yeah. Thonet, whatever.
It may be Thonet.
It's probably. I think Thonet sounds better. Anyway, we'll go with Thonet. But
okay.
That's the guy that had all the little hoop back things with the cane seating and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's a brilliant design because he gets his triangulation with those curved parts, even though he's screwing them together.
Yeah.
They had to be cheap. They had to be.
Yeah. And I think, and there was, I think if you do a search on YouTube and stuff, you can still see them making them today, steaming the wood and doing all that kind of stuff. Because I think this all came out when, Chris made some posts about steam bending. I think Caleb James goes, hey, you better check out this book about Thonet and his chairs and how he did the steam bending and stuff, and because he had some interesting stuff. But they did a lot. There's a couple of guys on the internet that do this, but mainly they're doing big stuff, big, thick boards, but they're in slightly pressurized steam environment. So it's like it's like 4 or 5 PSI pressurized, not much, but just enough to drive the steam into the wood. And and they're bending all kinds of stuff, whether it's, kiln dried, whatever, and stuff like that. And one of the guys even puts a little ammonia into the water.
Yeah. Ammonia bending has been around for a little.
Yeah. This is the guy that, I think it's Ingalls Coach Shop. So he rebuilds stage coaches and, big ore type stuff and stuff like that. So, I mean, he's steam bending stuff that's, like basically 2x4s is what he's steam bending.
Yeah. For those wheels.
Yeah. He does wheels and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And I think they're done in sections. They're still bent.
Yeah.
maybe 6 or 8 sections, but it's still like 2 inches thick.
I think he does them in 2 sections. I think it's 2 pieces.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
But he's
And
got
then
this.
wrap
He
some
has his
iron
whole
around it.
setup. Yeah, it's got like, this, it's basically using a big hydraulic setup that actually bends the stuff around to form. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is not backyard bending.
No, this is not chair making. This is we're talking serious. But I mean, a lot of that stuff, unless these, and I'm glad he's out on YouTube sharing what he's doing, because unless that stuff gets shared, a lot of that knowledge is just going to be lost. A lot of it has been lost. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
So pretty interesting stuff.
Yes, indeed.
Well, anyway, before we let you go, anything else you want to promote? How's the Splinter podcast going? I know the last couple episodes have been pretty good, but I'm always excited when a new one drops.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was the first part of this year. Things were a little dicey as far as getting my rhythm back on top of. But I'm on a little bit of a rant right now, and my newsletter, and then I transpose that onto the podcast. It's going to be about hard wax oil. Finally figured them out.
Oh, all right.
Get it white, get it. Finally have it.
Nice.
Yeah. And my favorite, one of my favorite woodworking authors is Bob Slack.
Okay. Yep.
Bob sniffed way too many, but it's that part of him that I really like, because he is so cranky. I mean, every page in his book, Understanding Finishes, it's what they say, and here's the truth.
Right.
Wow.
They're lying to you.
Yeah.
Also, my nose is burning.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was doing, looking online today, and looked up, what is it? Diprioline? It's the citrus solvent.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I screwed that name up, but it was on some forum, and somebody said, yeah, I'm a chemist. You can use this stuff and it's safe. But it's an irritant. I drink orange juice. I don't bathe in orange solvent.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Right. So, because whenever I look at the product data sheets on miracle products, one coat, how do you do that? How do you do it in one coat? And then I realized they're using a finish that I don't know if Sam came up with, Sam Maloof, but way back in the 80s, he had a 3-part mix.
Yep.
Now, the last coat, he added beeswax. He would shred beeswax and put it in a double boiler, and it was varnish and oil and mineral spirit. I don't know if he used a spar varnish or a regular varnish, but and then the last coat he would mix in beeswax. And I said, see, it's all been done before.
Yep.
It really has all been done before.
Yeah.
And someone just figured out a way to market it better than others. And and so they say, it's durable. It won't flake or peel. That means it doesn't really protect.
That's right.
And the analogy is, I don't know if you've ever heard of this. There was some cannery, and I think it was up in Alaska, and their catch was all king salmon, which is white flesh, not pink flesh. Most people expected when they opened their tin of canned salmon, they would expect to see pink salmon. And so this guy is stuck with thousands of pounds of white salmon, and he said, got to sell this stuff.
Red dye number 44 or whatever.
No, he said, our salmon doesn't turn pink in the cans.
Yep.
Nice.
Really sneaky, really smart. And so he was able to unload that stuff. And I think that's what it was. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Oil miscible finishes. Do you understand this? I didn't understand. I'm going to write about this because it's driving me nuts. So there's a product out there. Nah, I'm not going to say anything. And certainly not your sponsor.
Yeah. Well, that's why we like Southern Wells, because all their finishes have like 2 to 3 ingredients, and it's real polymerized tongue oil.
Yep.
And
Very
it's like,
simple.
mineral spirits. They do a orange citrus solvent, but that's just for their low VOC finish. All their finishes are low VOC. I think their citrus is like VOC exempt or something like that. But that's like two or three ingredients. That's it, and they make it themselves. Yeah.
Right. All these hard wax oils are really simple. It's just I didn't realize they've really been around for a long time, and now they're using a citrus solvent rather than
Yep.
Yep.
mineral spirit, but it's carnauba wax. There's your hard wax.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'd always say, well, why not use wax? I mean, they use it on your car. Well,
Mhm.
your car is a different material than
Right.
wood. But these finishing companies, as Flexner loves to point out, use language that is just kind of fluff. It doesn't
Yeah.
really say anything. It's microporous. This finish is microporous.
Of course.
Well, isn't water microporous? It goes into pores.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that. But the finishes themselves, I think, are fine. They're just enormously,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and I think probably needless, because they're oils,
Yeah.
polymerized or not. If they're going to yellow, they have linseed oil. If they're not going to yellow, they have tung oil or some other vegetable oil. There's a citrus solvent. Okay, great. And then there's carnauba wax in it. That's it.
Mhm.
And so it feels great if you've done a good job of sanding. Wax always feels great on the surface, but protection.
Yeah.
And it's easy to fix. Well, that's an oil finish.
Yeah.
Nothing new. There's nothing new. Oil finishes are really simple to finish.
Yeah.
And they're matte.
And most finishes that don't offer much protection are easy to fix.
It's
Yeah.
arguable that you should put a finish on anything at all.
Yeah.
except to beat the dirt to the punch. So if you make a tool in your shop out of wood and don't put an oil or something, my hands get filthy. So it'll look kind of crummy over time. So a coat of oil. But a coat of oil is easy to fix.
Mm-hmm.
Protection. So you add the wax. So these are things that have been out there, but the marketing aspect of it is fast to kind of and see what they're offering. There's one company they offered this amazing product, but now there's 6 versions of this. Wasn't the first version enough?
Yeah.
Now the marketing folks said we had to do, this color and this color and a lighter version.
Yeah.
And
the high solids version versus the low solids.
Right.
Mhm.
This is a gel stain.
Yeah.
And gel stains have been around for a long time. They're thixotropic. Okay, that's fine. That's easy. Rub them. They liquefy. Nothing magical about it. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. So, that's what's coming up next. Talking about
Pretty exciting.
Well, cool. Well, let's move on to our fortnightly beer choices. So I'll start us off. So I'm drinking the Carbach Hopadillo, and we had a nice pre-show with the Carbach Hopadillo where I accidentally spilled it on my keyboard but anyway, that's another story. So
that helps keyboards, doesn't it, Sean?
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to. I mean, from an IT perspective,
lubricated it. Yes,
it's lubricating until it's sticky, and then you may require some maintenance or replacement.
But other than that, it's a nice beer. It's a nice beer, and
not too heavy, right? I mean,
no, it's not too heavy. It's an IPA, but it's only 6%, so not too bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
mid grade. Okay.
Light IPA. So anyway, so Sean, what are you drinking?
So I actually went to the store today, and we're recording this in August. It should be published in August, and I found pumpkin ale. It seems wildly pre-season, but I just couldn't resist. So why not? So I picked up Masthead, which is a local, I think it's a Cleveland, Ohio-based brewery. They have their Haunted Hayride Pumpkin Ale, which is a good pumpkin ale. It's odd to be when it's still hot outside.
And it's Haunted Hayride, so it's actually Halloween themed.
Yeah, it's more Halloween-y, like end of October, and here we are mid-August. So hey, like what is real anymore? But no, quite nice. I don't know their distribution, but it's good.
Well,
Gary.
good. I'm looking forward to September when I can pick up some Christmas ale.
Exactly. That's honestly, that's how it's going, because this was not the only one I saw, and I was like, should I? Shouldn't I? Okay, I will. But yeah, you're right. I mean, September will have the Christmas or Thanksgiving at least, and I don't know if there's any Thanksgiving beer, turkey and stuffing beer, on the shelves. But you're right. It's wild. It's nowadays, like, I think this weekend, as we're recording locally, is the German American Festival in the area, and it's it's all my life. It's been on the radio. This is the German American Festival, Oakshade Grove. Da, 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 da. You know, they do this thing where they go out and do this thing, and that's where like it's not even Oktoberfest yet. Like, but here we are. We've got pumpkin beer in the stores before all of these events. It's kind of wild, but I'm having fun with it. Gary, how about you? What are you sipping on tonight?
Buoy. Buoy.
Buoy.
B-U-O-Y.
B-U-O-Y. The hell's that?
Lager.
It's a lager. Well, cool. I almost pick up Grolsch tonight. Anyway.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with water.
Yeah, nothing wrong with water.
Nothing away from that.
Yeah. Well, so Gary, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Well, northwestwoodworking.com is the website. Information about our Setting Up Shop series and the online mastery program. I'm on Instagram. That's pretty much it. At Northwest Woodworking. Yeah, I've kind of dropped out of. Yeah,
I understand.
I get it.
I kind of dropped out of those things. I go onto Facebook and I go, why?
Yeah.
So yeah, that I'm just concentrating.
Good.
And you can't forget the Splinters
Oh
podcast.
no, I am on Substack as well. I do.
A Substack.
Good. I do post some.
Okay. All right. We'll put a link to your Substack. All right.
At Gary Rogowski.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Give us some feedback on some of our recent podcasts there, Sean.
Oh, absolutely. So from episodes 568 and 569 with J. Morgan Grove, we got, what is this? Toby Oxley. Yep. Said, kudos. Morgan is an exceptional human being. His mission is very noble. I look forward to working with him again in the near future. Cheers. Nice. With a little beer cheering emoji. That's very nice. Joe Robert Bass. Thanks, Joe, a friend of the program. He says, great episode, guys. Morgan is a great dude with a lot of dimensions. I'm glad you got him on the show. Clapping emoji. Very nice. Jeff Watt. That good episode.
Jeff Wyatt.
Oh, sorry, Jeff Wyatt. Sorry, thank you.
Another friend of the show.
Friend. Good episode. 2 clapping emojis there. That means extra praise. And one of our patrons, Dennis Miko, sent us a note. He said, I enjoy the podcast immensely. I listen to current and backup podcasts when I'm walking my 3 miles every morning. Keep up the good work. That is phenomenal. Keep up the 3-mile walks every morning. That's what I'm saying to that. That's
no
cool.
kidding.
That's impressive.
Well, hopefully this episode got you through another walk. So
there you go.
But if y'all want to comment on the show or stuff, just reach out to our Instagram's usually a good place to get to us, and that's MWA_podcast, and give us a 5-star review on Apple or wherever you're getting your podcast from. We really appreciate that. And Gary, thanks so much for joining us, and can't wait to see you in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah. I'm so jealous.
And that just about wraps it up for this show. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the show on the podcatcher of your choice. Just search for the Modern Woodworkers Association. And while you're there, please leave us a review. You can follow us on Instagram at MWA_podcast. And if you'd like to support the podcast, go over to patreon.com/MWA podcast. But the best thing you can do is tell a friend. Word of mouth goes a long way in sharing our discussion.